righty, hello everyone. I'm Irene Williams. I am here at Coverings. Coverings is North America's largest tile and stone expo. We are so glad you're watching today. It's the last day of this great show. And right now we have Luke Miller with us. Luke has a podcast called Tile Money. And I learned of him thanks to the social medias. He is, coming up on those socials, and this podcast is starting to rock. And he's a tile installer. So I wanted to interact with him today and get some insights on what's going on with the installation community. So thank you on the last day of the show for being here with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And thank you, Irene, for reaching out to me on Instagram. And I've been enjoying our chats. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a modern day way to meet.
That's right.
To direct message through Instagram. This is how we met.
That's right.
That's how it all worked. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you do professionally, and then just go ahead and jump right into how you started Tile Money. But set us up for your profession first.
I started being a tile helper at the age of 17, and quickly fell in love with the trade and working with my hands and making homes beautiful. So in 2008, I applied and tested and received my C54, California Tile Contractors license.
Okay.
It was a rough year to get a start.
No kidding, sir. Yeah. Wow, 08.
So I had a lot of hard lessons to learn. And to be honest, reaching out on social media, well, back then it was the John Bridge forums. And reaching out to my peers, and connecting that way was a real boost, and it really helped build confidence and helped me overcome some obstacles back then even. But I did get into another business, property management, over the toughest years. Sure. But, tile was always a huge calling, Once you're in it and you know how to do it, it's hard to get away.
You don't get out of this business, yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of my career. Right now I'm in San Luis Obispo, Miller Tile and Stone. We specialize in residential remodeling.
Nice.
Tile showers mainly.
And you're staying busy?
Oh yeah, too busy.
It's too busy, yeah. So if you're a busy guy, what compelled you to carve some time to do a podcast for your fellow installers?
Yeah, and that's just it. Irene, is I still had so much to overcome. And even in this good economy that we've been having for almost 10 years now, right? And we've been having such growth year after year after year. I still struggle to show a profit. And I still struggle with some of the key elements. So I started researching, and I started, continuing to ask those questions. My life really changed after my daughter was born. I had a lot of time, rocking my daughter, walking her on the beach. And I started getting into podcasts, something to kind of, occupy me, long walks. And also then I started listening to it on my drive to work. And then it kind of transitioned to, oh man, I'm learning so much and there's so much good information. I started listening to it at work, put the earbuds in, and you're getting paid to install tile and you're learning at the same time. Sometimes you can go through a whole college course,
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. We are in a podcast era for sure.
For sure. So I started searching for contractor podcasts, and I found a lot. And that's really when my life changed. I started seeing a lot of rapid growth. I started, I downsized because I understood I had to make some changes and I needed to focus on the business. But the funny thing was, that year that my daughter was born, I went from five-man crew down to one-man crew and myself. And I had I had better profits and the same amount of revenue. So I understood the power there of this podcast, and I started looking for a tile contractor podcast. I didn't find it. So, with my mind and my curiosity, I thought, I'm going to try it and see if anybody wants to listen to it.
Yeah, so you found the need, and then you needed to fill that need, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to my fellow tile contractors and really let them know about, I felt like, I had found a few simple things that, a lot of people know about, but I just wanted to have another avenue. I wanted to speak directly to them, because that's how we sometimes find the sources that we need, is if someone's speaking directly to us, right?
Yeah, and I know there are other sources out there. We've mentioned in another interview about Tile Geeks, which is a private Facebook group where contractors can come and ask each other questions and crack some jokes every now and then. I lurk on there. I don't post on there. But so how did you feel like a podcast might supplement or be something different to the forums that do already exist?
Yeah, and I really felt there was a lack in the business education side of it. You know, tile's a very technical trade, and no doubt learning these techniques and learning the ins and the outs and the whys, why we do things the way we do, no doubt that's going to help the business, right?
Yes.
But it's also a trade that many of us are owner installers. So you wear a lot of hats, and you don't have time. So like you know, going back to what I said about the podcast that I found, I was able to learn as I worked.
Isn't that
and
so
so
cool?
that's where I saw the slot that I fit in.
Yeah.
I didn't just want to start another Tile Geeks. I mean, I love Tile Geeks. I love Global Tile Posse. I love them all, you know. But I wanted to start something unique, something that I thought added value.
Right, and it's so mobile. We live in a mobile world. We're all picking up our phones first, you know, so you filled in that blank. So you've obviously addressed owner, installer, you're running a business. What are some other key issues that you think your fellow installers need to address?
Yeah, what affects us kind of out there in the marketplace? You know, oftentimes these competitive rates, builders and so on want to, you know, sell you on volume, and sometimes it works, but oftentimes if you get caught in a competitive mindset, it's a quick race to the bottom. And really the message I preach is to show a profit and charge accordingly, because not just to pad your pocket, but to give back to the communities that we live in, and to build strong, you know, sustainable and profitable businesses that will stand the test of time. So I really think selling the value is one of my main messages right now, is we need to sell the value of this, because it is, you know, porcelain, ceramic, even handmade tiles. Everybody, our customers, they're looking for a different thing, but they're looking for longevity, and they're looking for artwork.
Right. Do you find a lot of your fellow installers, they may apprentice somewhere and then suddenly they find more opportunity if they were to go out on their own? How do they get into that moment in time where they become their own business? Is it a happenstance, or, you know, do you think a lot of people kind of aim for that trajectory?
You know, sometimes it just happens, accidental, happen chance, like you said. You know, oftentimes we want to get to a certain point, a certain income level, and maybe the area we live in doesn't offer, you know, maybe there's not a large contractor offering a really good program or, you know, benefits package and things of this nature. So we might do a side job or two. You know, I was doing side jobs at 18 years old. I mean, I had no business doing side jobs. But let me tell you, when you're a tile setter, and even if you're a helper, your neighbors and your family are going to ask you to do side work. So you just start doing it. And
you're very handy to have around,
And it's a rapid way to learn, right? And it also, you know, puts some cash in your pocket. And at 18, 20 years old, you feel like you're on top of the world.
Right.
And sometimes we just jump into it and say, this is awesome. But we forget about the business side of it. We forget about the taxes. We don't think about it because, you know, we've got our mind on the money.
I know. Well, and I'm a small business owner too, so these things I can greatly relate to.
Excellent.
You know, because opportunities kind of came, and then, quarterly taxes, and I need help, and how do I afford that? So I can relate to you on that, even though the industry is so very different. But, people need to have some source to help them think ahead and think more intelligently.
Exactly.
So what are some of your favorite episodes from your podcast? Do you have a few that stand out?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, I feel like I'm just getting started.
You are, I know.
You know, and I interviewed Carl, the Flash, Carl Leonard out of New Jersey. That was a great episode. I interviewed Ron Nash. I really enjoyed talking with him. And you know the value there for us tile contractors, because Ron's not a tile contractor. He does have a...
Explain who he is for folks who don't know and are watching.
Yeah, so Ron Nash works with Later Creek Company, manufacturer. All my listeners will know that. And so he does have a contractor business, but you know, he's been to Harvard, and you know, he has a lot of responsibility there with Later Creek. So the value of me interviewing people like Ron is we can pull from their side of because he's looking at us from a Northwest, you know, nationwide perspective.
Absolutely.
I mean, North America is what I meant to say.
So, I'm with you.
So he's looking at all of us, right? And he's seeing our, you know, what we struggle with, and he says, well, here's how I can help you run better businesses. You know, and sometimes we need that outside view to help us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have a full lineup in mind? How are you managing your content?
Yeah, that's a great question.
As you roll, or are you queuing them up a month in advance? Or?
So right now I'm probably 2 months out right now.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, maybe 6 weeks, something like that. Thanks to this show, I've been busy recording episodes here live.
They're so smart.
And so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the future of Tile Money. It's been received really well by the installers, and that's kept me going. So I want to thank my audience for messaging me and listening to the podcast.
Yeah, how have you, obviously I've learned of you thanks to social media. Is that your primary way to get the grassroots going?
It really is. I bounce between, split my time basically between Instagram and Facebook. Instagram's a no-brainer for a lot of us because it is a picture platform and, setting artwork.
Right.
Facebook, we can get into the discussion a little bit deeper. So that's where I'm finding my audience, and it's been a good thing.
Great. So when you're to grow your own business, do you use your social platforms to reach people who might?
I do, Irene. Thanks for asking. I'm on Instagram, Miller Tile and Stone, on Facebook, and I've done some paid advertising, but I've found engaging with my potential customers through through those platforms is really much more powerful.
Right.
You can pay to get some eyeballs sometimes, but then you got to start that conversation. You got to use that. You got to show them your personality. I use the stories to do that. And so that's part of the key element. I also did something fun a while back, even before the podcast, about 2 years ago, and I just started this local community giveaway page. I saw all my tile friends doing giveaways, and we want to promote our tools and stuff like that, and I'm sure there's a lot of value there too. There's an Instagram account, tools, tool reviews or whatever.
Yeah, interesting.
But I thought, this might be a unique way for me to get in touch with my community. So I started giving away gift cards to restaurants. I would just go buy a $20 gift card, and I would get on there and say, Friday at noon, I'm going to pick a winner. Let's do this thing. Let's build this thing. And I built that thing up to like a couple thousand followers within a short amount of time because people love to win stuff.
So smart.
And I would just say, by the way,
I may borrow that.
by the way, I'm Luke Miller. I own a tile installation business. If you want to use my services, check me out on Miller Tile and Stone.
There you go.
Yeah.
Captured your audience, and you earned the right to, tell them who you are and what you do. You're doing good things for them.
And a lot of the local restaurants and handmade shops and stuff like that, they were really enthused, and they even donated some stuff too. So you can get out there. It oftentimes it just takes connections, and I did get some work from that, and it paid off, and I felt good about it too.
Right.
I even did some stuff with the firefighters, and so it was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you should do have you done a podcast where you shared those kind of ideas?
I shared some ideas like that. I've done a couple episodes on the social media and things of that. But I think that's the first time I've let people know about that. It's kind of a goofy page. I actually stopped it. I kind of let my goofy personality shine on that one, and I just wanted to have fun.
It's trial and error.
Yeah.
You learn by doing.
Yeah.
That's.
And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll reactivate it if I can. I think I can, and I'll post a link here.
Okay.
And give you that link to share. All right.
Awesome. No pressure. You're a busy person, so to revive that and add that.
Well,
to your
I think
list.
it's a click of the button.
Yeah. There you go.
If it is, I think that's the way it works.
So you talked some about the issues that you are hoping to address for your fellow installer community. What are some things that people who need your services should know in order to have a better project experience when they work with you? Designers or builders or anyone who's retaining your services. Do you have any tips for people who need contractors?
Oh, consumers? Yeah.
Right.
Look for that value that I spoke of. Not all tile installers are equal. It's not as simple as just putting it down. You're paying a lot of money already for the product. You're investing a lot of time. Oftentimes people will design something for years at a time. It's not the time to shop on price.
Right.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It does have a factor, and I understand that, and I want to work with you. And we can talk about price.
Sure.
Your contractor would be happy to give you several options. We can talk about reducing costs in ways that you might not know would reduce it by sometimes, quite a, $500 here, $500 there adds up.
Sure.
Yeah.
So just good communication, basically.
Good communication. Find out what you need and be realistic. Don't call me on September 20th and tell me you need a bathroom on the 23rd.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Just not gonna. Right.
And I'm sorry, but it just takes time. Quality takes time, and tile work takes time. There's steps you have to take.
There's an art to it.
Very true.
Yes. So you're a very busy person, got a lot going on, but you've taken these precious days to be at this show. Explain the benefit of being part of Coverings for someone like you in your business.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate coming here because it's all about the connections that you make when you're here. I mean, we want to look at the tools that draws us. And there's value there, seeing new things, new inventions. We want to look at the design. Make some connections with some of these salespeople. Start maybe incorporating that into your business model, selling direct, buying direct, or what have you. We also want to talk to our peers, and that's one of the most valuable things. This is a great industry because of the people inside of it, and that's just really been impressed on my mind on this week.
Yeah.
Because I was able to attend several awards ceremonies and really get to see the insight behind the corporations, National Tile Contractors Association, Coverings.com, and all the great ones. I can't mention them all here, but and these awards that they're giving, they're focused on the people. They really want to give back to the tile community, and that's really been valuable. And some of these companies that I look up to, I used to think, they're not going to take time to talk to me. I was so wrong. If I could tell myself one thing 10, 20 years ago, well, 10 years ago, right? When I was getting started.
You're not that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could tell myself one thing, it'd just be say, pick up that phone and call. And now we can do it, direct message, PM, because these contractors that are running very successful businesses, these contractors who are, presidents of the NTCA organization, they're willing and they want to help you. And they're more than happy to. They're begging us too.
They need to know what you need.
Exactly.
I know that from my involvement in the industry.
Yeah.
You really they want to hear from you. Yeah, you are very valued.
And they want to share their tips and their advice, because there's a right way to run a business and there's a wrong way. And if you're worried about success and legacy and building something that's sustainable and that can give back to the communities and be a positive influence, this is where you want to be. You want to be at Coverings. You want to be shaking hands and talking and keeping an eye on the industry and as it grows and it evolves.
Right. So where can folks find you? Remind us of your URL and
so on
your
Instagram at TileMoney.
Okay.
TileMoney.com.
Easy enough.
I have a Facebook group called Tile Money.
There you go. Consistent branding.
That's it.
Good move.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, any other exciting things coming your way? Are you going to go home and get back to work? And
I am. I have several jobs that are in different stages. We've got some really cool marble showers we're working in one house, and another house we're doing some retro work in. He wanted a retro feel, so he purchased some tile that looked like it was made, quite a while ago, in the 60s. So,
nice.
So we've got some interesting
That's
projects,
fun.
really fun stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can look for those photos on your
at
social
Miller
media.
Tile and Stone.
At Miller Tile and Stone.
Yeah.
We'll look for those. I'm excited. It sounds like really cool stuff.
Thank you.
Always like the inspiration. Well, thank you for your time, and have a great rest of the show and a little bit of Orlando thrown in there with your family.
For sure. I really enjoyed getting to know Celebration, Florida.
Yes.
If anybody ever wants to really see something unique, go to Celebration. Lady Crete, sponsored a bike ride and a breakfast there the other day, and I really enjoyed that.
How fun.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's treating you right. All these folks hosting things here at the show.
Well, I just feel blessed. And to be honest, humbled, and so I'm enjoying
what
it.
you do is so important to the industry. Great installation is where success happens. All the tools, all the beautiful products don't mean much if they're not installed properly. It's legit. So we need you. And thank you for helping your industry. So,
thank you for saying so.
So thanks so much for being here, and thanks to you guys.
Well, I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks.